Welcome back, children. Hope you all had wonderful holidays. In our previous classes, we started with tissues. Am I right? Yeah, we learned that in case of plants, there are two main types of, uh, tissues. One is meristematic tissue, another one is permanent tissue. Meristematic, we have seen the subdivisions of that, and that is based on the position. First one, it is called apical meristem, the one which is seen at the apex. The another one, it is it is a one which is seen at the lateral side of the plant, and we have to call it as the lateral meristem. And then at the base of the node, also you can see the meristem, which is to be called as the intercalary meristem. Am I right? And when we have discussed about the meristematic tissue of plants, I told you like meristematic tissues are meant for the purpose of growth, and they are continuously dividing cells. And once the meristematic tissue gets differentiated, it becomes permanent. And that's why in case of plants, two main categories, two main types of tissues: meristematic tissue and permanent tissues. Permanent tissues also we have seen there are two main subdivisions for that. One is simple permanent tissue, another one is complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissues we have seen already, and as the term indicates, it's made up of only one type of cells, and all the ones are alike. And examples we have seen in case of collenchyma, sclerenchyma, parenchyma, all these ones are simple permanent tissues. Am I right? Yeah. And complex permanent tissues, as the term indicates, it's not made up of one type of cells, but it has many types. And two are there in case of plants, or complex permanent tissues: xylem and phloem. And before going to the details of xylem and phloem, I just want you to, understand some of the internal details of plant. Now let us see the internal details of plant, and this is the branch of a plant. And while considering the anatomy, the study of the inner details of whether it is a plant or animal, we have to call that branch as anatomy. So in case of plant anatomy, and while we take the sections of the plant, if we take sections like this, and that is to be called as CS, cross section, or transverse section. And if we take sections like this is called longitudinal section. So, and now we are going to see, when we going to see the details of the stem, how it looks like while we take the CS of the plant. And I have shown here, and this is the whole representation, and this is a portion enlarged. And here, if a particular portion, if it is enlarged, it looks like this. And here none of the cells are represented, and because it's a general diagram, but you should know that this is a general diagram which represents the CS of the plant, and this is an enlarged view. And in case of plants, whether it is a the root or a stem or a leaf, and it is being protected by an outermost layer, and that is to be called as epidermis, and that does the same function what our skin will skin do. And now here in case of epidermis, and that is actually flattened cells, and which is a unilayered, and mostly it is one layer, single layered, and which you could see in case of a stem or a root or a leaf, wherever it is, all the internal details of the cell, of the plant, it is being protected by this outermost layer, epidermis. And I told you it is mostly one layer. And over to epidermis, you could see that one more layer, which is a protective layer, and which is to be called as cuticle, which is made up of cutin. And the outermost layer, I told it is epidermis, and over to epidermis, you have one more protective layer, and which is to be called as cuticle, and this is the one which protects the plant from all aberrations, infections, or whatever it might be. All the internal details of the plant, it is being protected by this, the outermost one layer of epidermis. Over to epidermis, you can see the cuticle. Then inner to epidermis, and this region we have to call it as cortex. The cortex of the plant tissue, it might be made up of collenchyma, sclerenchyma, parenchyma. That depends. That depends on which plant it might be. Okay, so it is what is it? Variously, different type of tissues you can see. But in some cases it might be only sclerenchymatous, some cases it is only parenchymatous, and that depends on the type of the plant. So this is called cortex, and then innermost one, just inner to the cortex, you can see the vascular bundle, and this is called vascular. This is called this bundle, and here I have represented here. You can see many bundles here, and what is that? Vascular bundles. And why we call it as vascular bundles? And because it is a one which is meant for vasculature. Vasculature means the transport of water, minerals and food. And what is the one which helps, which does the process of water, mineral transport or even food transport in case of plants. And you already know that. And the water and minerals, it is being transported by means of xylem. See how I have represented xylem here? And the food is being translocated throughout the plant. It is by means of phloem. So phloem and xylem together in all higher plants is being together like in the form of a bundle, and that is called as vascular bundle. I told you this is only a portion enlarged, and that's why you can see only one vascular bundle. Here you could see many vascular bundles. And innermost one, some cases it is empty or it might be parenchymatous cells, that we have to call it as pith. What is it? Pith. Okay. And then here coming back to epidermis, in case of stem or in case of leaf, that the exchange of gases or even the transpiration process, it occurs through small pores, and that is called stomata. This is the representation of the stomata. And that might be like the number of stomata, it may vary, and that is also depending on the type of the plant. And it can even see in case of stem and mostly lower sides of leaves, and even of course upper side also. So stomata. And here some cases normal trichomes, outgrowth, unicellular outgrowth you can see in case of stem. We have to call it as trichome. Same like this unicellular outgrowth. In case of roots, you can see root hairs, small minute hairs from the root. It's called root hairs, and this is meant for the absorption of water and minerals. And now I told stomata is present, and that is being you could see along with the epidermis. And here it is a representation of the stomata of a dicot. And this already have studied in lower classes. Each stoma has two guard cells. This is guard cell. These two are guard cells. Guard cells in case of dicot, it is kidney shaped, whereas in case of monocot, it is dumbbell shaped. And dicots, see these in case of dicot or monocot, this the guard cells are meant for the opening and the closing of stomata. And see, now I have shown that the opened stomata, through that the exchange of water and or the exchange of gases and the evaporation of water through transpiration, it occurs through this pores, and this is a stomal pore. Okay, around this guard cell, see some cells are there, that's to be called as subsidiary cells. I will show you the structural details of all these ones. Now let us see that. And this is a general diagram of the stem of the plant, and these two diagrams you have, which is already given in your textbook. And you see the outermost epidermis, outermost layer, it is epidermis, and even you can see this is the cortical regions, and these are vascular bundles. See this vascular bundle, how many vascular bundles are there? And in this corner, this is a portion enlarged, a portion of this, it is enlarged. Here you can see one layer of epidermis. See this? One layer of epidermis, and this is the epidermal outgrowth, like a hair-like outgrowth, which is to be called as trichome. And these are the cortical layers. See this? These are the cortical layers. And this is a representation of a single vascular bundle, and where you can see the phloem and this is the phloem, this green part, and this is actually, above this, the phloem, what is being given, it is sclerenchymatous, what is the thickening here, sclerenchymatous actually, pericycle, and some sclerenchymatous cells are there, and this green one, it is actually phloem, and this is a xylem cells. Together, xylem I told you already, xylem is meant for the transport of water and minerals, and whereas phloem is meant for, the translocation of food. And you just imagine here, see, and this is not only in one part, it's throughout, and this is actually cross section, and you see here down, and it's a longitudinal view. Okay, so it's from up to down, top to bottom of the plant is been connected through vascular bundle, and that's why the plant is getting, the food and water and minerals all the one across the parts of the plants. Now I'll show you another one. See, this is a stomata. I told you, like in case of, dicots, the stomata, the guts, which is kidney shaped and which is being covered with, this is a subsidiary cells. You can see two, guts, and this is open stomata. Okay, guts, kidney shaped, that you can see in, dicots. And this is epidermis. This is in case of, the stomatal structure in case of dicot, this one. And I will show you one, open stomata and closed stomata. You see, guts cells, and why it's opening and closing it is that, what is that? That's due to some, some physiological process happens inside the cells that you will learn, of course, in next year. Anyway, what I want to say it is, and this one, no, the inner wall of the gut cell, which is thickened than this, and that also helps in the process. See here, and during daytime, stoma opens. So, whereas in nighttime, stoma closes. This is a closed stoma. Okay. Now here you can see the gut cell of, monocot. See the gut cell, I told you, it's dumbbell shaped, opened and a closed one. And also I mentioned about, the root hairs. And, in case of roots, the epidermal outgrowth, it is having, many hair-like ones. We have to call it as root hairs. And this is meant for, the process, which helps in the process of, absorption of water and minerals.